It takes a very special person to become an educator. It takes a very creative person to be an educator. In education, a teacher must be willing to think outside the box to reach their students' needs. However, a special education teacher or education specialist, like we are being called today, has to think outside the box. Students in special education might look or might not look different, might or might not act differently, but they all learn differently. These are some of the ways I use technology in my classroom to meet the needs of my students. My video focuses on 4 IEP goals. Based on these content standards, student will compose a complete sentence with a character, setting, and event. Student will segment onsets and rhymes of word families at, in, and an. Student will count or identify numbers to 60 with 90% accuracy. In the following activity, you're going to see how a student used the iPad application Adobe Voice to prove that he met his IEP goal. The student incorporated visuals or pictures from The Very Hungry Caterpillar, but also orally recorded his voice where he identified these 5 key details from the story. This kind of activity is perfect for your interpersonal intelligence, your verbal linguistic learners, and also your intrapersonal.
A baby hungry caterpillar. He ate an apple. He ate a pear. He ate a plum. Then he ate a strawberry. Then he ate a orange. He ate a leaf and turned into a butterfly.
The following activity, the iPad application Telegami was used. In this activity, the student created a cartoon of himself with a background to answer a question, but also orally recorded his voice. The student was to create a complete sentence with a character, a setting, and an event. This is an activity that is great for those verbal linguistic learners, those visual spatial, the intra and the interpersonal, and also the kinesthetic.
My favorite animal is a gorilla, and they live on the jungle.
The next activity, another iPad application was used, and it is called ChatterKids. ChatterKids was used to work on IEP goal number 3, which was the language arts goal of blending and segmenting onsets and rhymes. The student can personalize this application by incorporating a picture of themselves or any picture they would like to talk. All they have to do is create a little mouth and then record their voice. This application is great for those intrapersonal students, but it's also great for those verbal, it's great for those visual, and also the interpersonal learners.
Cat. Bat.
In the next activity, another iPad application was used, and it is called Bitsboard. This application was used to work on the math goal, which was where the student was to identify numbers up to 60. In the video, you'll see the students working with flashcards or doing sorting, which is great for those mathematical, logical thinkers, those naturalists, the visual spatials, the kinesthetic, and also, I believe, the intra and interpersonal intelligence.
13, 14, 4, 14, 13, 13, 1, 13, 13, 4, 2.
According to Albert Einstein, everybody is a genius. But if we judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it is inadequate. In my classroom, technology doesn't teach my lessons. I do. However, technology allows my student to prove their worth and are allowed to show their strengths and not their disability. Teachers and students, think outside the box.